and welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Animals and Pets with Partha. Today the subject is papers, dog papers. What does it signify? Well, all these exotic breed of dogs have been developed by a man, and most of these breeds have been developed in other countries like England, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, and many other European countries, and also other Asian countries worldwide. Now, all these dogs that have been developed has been accepted by international bodies as being purebreds, and purebreds which has a standard. A whole lot of things are written about the dog, starting from the tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. Every part of the dog, skeletal and topographical, has been explained in paper, and also means the color, everything, every possible detail is mentioned and explained in the extended standard of each breed. Now, breeders are expected to breed to that standard. And in order to breed to the standard, they have been using with different dogs and bitches which actually resemble closely, or with experience, the experienced breeders can say that by using such and such a dog to such and such a bitch, having such and such pedigree will result in the dog being closer to the standard as possible. Now, so that is the purpose of the pedigree. So it's very, very important that the pedigree is maintained very religiously. And most countries worldwide make an effort to maintain the pedigree perfectly as it should be. In fact, most of the countries nowadays have introduced also DNA's testing. In earlier days, where there was this tattoos, even tattoos are there in many countries, even today. And many breeders I know who have large kennels, like one of my friends have a kennel of 500 Pomeranians. He has his own tattoo system. Though the Kennel Club has its tattoo system, but he also has his own tattoo system to exactly know instantly by the number actually when the dog was born and sort of which time of the year and month of the year and things like that. So that is very important. But then if you do not maintain that pedigree, then everything, that pedigree has no value at all, because it is just not a piece of paper with lots of names and international and world champions, because all these signify really to the dog that the paper is actually related to. But then if you change that paper and put it onto any other dog, what happens? The whole system falls apart. So the paper means, now in India, paper has actually no value. Most people know that the paper means just that you got to have a paper with great names. That means a lot of them even know that, well, you buy a dog and you buy a paper, that's it. Because most of the papers will have world champions, international champions and whatnot. Because, they feel that if you put a paper onto a dog, which, to them they don't find the difference between dogs. Means to them a bad German Shepherd or a good German Shepherd means nothing because they don't know the breed. So what happens is they buy a dog which they feel, of course, if they own a dog, they might feel that the dog is great, but it needs a paper. So they order a paper and 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 is paid. Now, what has happened over the years, last 20 years or so or more, the entire paper system has gone under the hands of a syndicate. And he, along with some of his sycophants, have actually been looting the dog game on this matter of papers. So, the paper actually comes 3-4 months after you apply. And then, the cost of paper, it was in earlier days, it was only ₹4 when it was in the Nilgiris. Now they have made it, with different ways of charging, like they charge for a magazine which is ₹1,000 and this and that, and if the age is more than 3 months or 4 months or whatever, the rate goes up. And then, of course, there will be litter inspections by again the stooges or the sycophants. And then again, if you have to increase the number of puppies from 4 to 8, you got to pay something. All that happens. And finally, you do apply for a paper, and each paper lands up costing, 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever. And then, they give you a paper with a microchip. As you see in the video, there is a syringe. That syringe has a sort of a rice-like grain, which has a number. That is the chip. And that chip, when you put it in the under the skin in the neck area, and if you use a scanner later on, a scanner will cost 5,000-10,000 rupees. So you got to run around with a scanner in your pocket, and if you go there, and a number will show up on that scanner. So that number matches the registration papers. So what they do is they give you sort of a syringe, which is stapled to a piece of paper, as you see. So what happens is, if you take it out, that syringe, it will only have numbers. And you don't know if that paper is sort of lost, then you don't know how to find out what dog it belonged to. And then if you put that chip inserted into a Doberman, and the chip actually might belong to a German Shepherd paper. So just to explain to you that you can put it onto any dog, and that dog will bear the paper of that the German Shepherd. Supposing the German Shepherd chip is inserted into a stray dog, so that stray dog will actually own that paper. It will look ridiculous, of course, but that's it. But then you see, within the breed, in a dog show, within the breed, there is a vast difference from, there are poor quality, and there are fair quality, then there are good quality, and very good quality, and excellent quality. See, in a dog show, it is a lot of gradation of, but to a normal eye, a good and bad German Shepherd may not, they may not know anything about it. So what they do is, everybody is aware that the papers are all, you buy it from the market, and any paper can be put onto, as long as it within the same breed. So in India, 99.99999% of dogs, most dogs, of course, are not registered. Not even a fraction means of this in this vast country. Only a few dogs are registered from what the numbers actually are in this country of purebred dogs. And then what happens is only a few people are able to maintain the pedigree religiously. That also, as long as that breeder, he has imported some dogs. So when he's breeding in his kennel, he maintains it. The moment he sells his puppies out, those papers are now going to mass production, because these are great pedigrees, because they're imported great dogs, spending 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 lakhs of rupees on each dog. And now, when they breed, of course, at some point of time, they might sell some puppies, and that's it. And then that paper, they just keep generating more and more. And then the syndicate, of course, generates them through all its sycophants, and it's all in the market. And you can sort of buy it from the market. So what people do not realize, that you have an ordinary car, say, and then you get a Ferrari paper, and you see the chassis number. You change the chassis number of this ordinary car and put on a Ferrari number and a logo, and you think you're driving a Ferrari. No, it's not that. That paper actually, people who know will immediately know that poor German Shepherd will not have this world champion behind it. So, that's all that. Of course, well, even great dogs produce cripples. That is true. But then, for breeding for show quality dogs, in a top class litter where you match the pedigrees, where you match the quality, and you compensate, you assess how to breed and things like that with your experience, and then you still will get only one or two top class dogs, and others will be, not so good, and then pet quality. So anyway, what has been happening? The entire paper industry in this country has been corrupted. There are some other organizations, of course, who try to maintain it religiously, like the Indian National Kennel Club in Bombay, and they have been operating for the last 65 or more years. And then there is the new club in Punjab, the United Kennel Club, and there may be more. Well, in a vast country where there are 28 states and 8 union territories, that makes it 36 different states. And this, they only, how can few people, control an entire country as vast as India? And it should actually be a representative body. Every state of India has so many top-class cities, hundreds of them. And so, all over the country there may be, quite highly populated 405 or more cities in this country. So they all can actually have nice kennel clubs. And at least 36 states of this country should have kennel bodies where they will authorize representatives from their organization to represent the national body. And then only can our dog game progress. People here are democratic minded, and they uphold the values of democracy. And this country needs a really, really uniform system in the kennel world. It should be able to give equal opportunities and a level playing ground to all who passionately want to pursue the sport of dog. It is a very fascinating sport, and in most of the developed countries, it is a very highly rated sport where top quality people are involved in it, and every weekend they go from show to show. They have a lot of entertainment from this. They breed their own dogs. They invite judges from all over the country and in other parts of the world, and it's such a wonderful and enjoyable sport in other countries. I have had the great privilege of having judged more than about 150 times around different countries, over 24 countries, and most of the countries I've gone several times, and and judged many very important shows like the Melbourne Royal, the Brisbane Royal, the Hobart Royal. Then I've judged many big shows in Europe, and then of course I've judged in Japan, China, South Africa, and many other countries in Asia. And so I have seen how wonderful the dog game progress has made headway in these countries, and how people are involved and enjoy the sport. But in this country, the syndicate has actually killed the sport, and has with the help of certain people, his sycophants, whom he throws some bits of crumbs and they are happy, and they have actually been looting this dog game not only by generating false registration papers, and I will come to many other details on the paper issue, the provisional paper issue, and other things the stories that I know, and they are out of my experience. I am telling you exactly that I have experienced all that I am actually relating to you. It is not that hearsay or I have borrowed it from anybody. So also coming to dog shows, as you know, all the dog shows have been hijacked. They bring in judges from around the world. It's so shameful that they tell them that you have to come to India and put up whatever dogs we tell you to put up. And then those judges finally, some of them say, well, what does it matter? Because we get a fantastic holiday to India and we're good looking after. And then you get a fat sort of package, shopping money, that is. And then you can have a nice time and shop in India and go back. Who cares? These people want us to do cheap. So, it doesn't really matter. So it's been going on for ages, and it is time has come that we must put a stop to it. We must not allow this to get any further. And these people who are involved in with the syndicate and the people who are involved in destroying this dog game must be eliminated, and the dog game must be opened to the dog lovers of this entire country, where millions and millions of people are involved in the purebred dogs, and we can be one of the most vibrant and one of the top nations, dog showing nations in the world in times to come. Please do subscribe to my channel, and of course tap the bell button so that you're notified with every uploads that I do, and then of course you can like and share it. And thank you for all the support I've been receiving in all my episodes, and see you soon in a while.